her. I want you to phone her because there's a living person on that phone because she's here and mine's gone and I would give anything, anything. The last thing I said to him was, I need to pop to the toilet. I just need to pop to the toilet. But I didn't. I needed a break. I couldn't just sit, so I told a lie. He was my life. I got up in the morning because of him. I breathed because of him. And after all, that love was a lie. I bought a Twix. That's what I did. 50 cents. I bought a Twix out of the machine and he died. And I want to go back and change that. And I want to be better and nicer and kinder, but I can't. So I'm going to clear the shed. Old cans of dried up Bermuda blue paint and 43 keys. And I'm going to play the mouth organ. It's mine now. You're not having it. And I'm going to bang the walls because if I don't, I'll die. Look at him. He's on the cake now. Well, why not, I say. Good little postman, little blind postman, no shame in that. I bet he cries behind those eyes, though. I would. I think I'll fix up a wee bag for your Auntie Mary. She likes egg mayonnaise. Be a little treat for her. Shame, though. She would have loved to see the linen. You keep the phone. I won't be using it. I only had it for emergencies. It's got money on it. Plenty. So don't you waste it.
Okay, yay, Constance. So now going forward, what I would say is what I'd like to do is try to infuse it with a little more action, a little more doing. And then I think this thing will come to life and the subtleties we'll find. Tell me everything you know about this character.
This is the funeral luncheon for her recently dead husband. The person she's talking to is her son. They've had problems. The postman is is married to, I think, her sister. He's blind and he's enjoying the funeral. And Mary can't be there because she's not well, because she's ill. And those are the people that are referenced in the course of this.
And when did the husband die?
This is the actual, it's right after the funeral.
What does she need from her son? But what it sounds like to me, just by talking to you, it sounds like you have realized the error of your ways.
Yeah, it's a very good way to put it. Yes, exactly.
And you now need your son to not make mistakes that you've made in your life.
Yes, I see. That's great. I see what you mean.
So you need him. Don't be a fool. It's like she's saying to him, don't be a fool. You need him to wake up. I feel like we've got fuel with this monologue. I feel like we've got momentum and we know where to start and how to give it life at the beginning. Let's just stay with phone her. And what I want you to say is only say phone her. I want you to phone her. I want you to repeat those lines over and over again, getting me to phone her. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Phone her.
No.
Phone her.
No.
Phone her.
No.
Phone her. I want you to phone.
You don't want me to phone her.
Phone her.
You don't want me to
phone her. I want you to phone her. Phone her. I want you to phone her. Because there's a living person on that phone, because yours is here and mine's gone.
Would she like to have 2 minutes to have a final conversation, say her final goodbyes to her husband?
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
So I take what she's saying just to mean how much she would want that. And it's impossible for me. I can't have that, but you can. And why wouldn't you jump on that, you friggin' idiot?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you jump on that? Because you can and I cannot. When you say last thing I said, I want you to find what was the last thing you said. What was it?
Oh, all right. Uh-huh.
Find that. The last thing I said was, and then say it. And what do you think about that? What do you think about the fact that that's what you said, about that you had to go to the toilet? How does that make you feel?
Just complete contempt for myself.
Let that
Not even hatred. Just I'm shivering with contempt just telling you about it.
let that contempt land for you.
Because there's a living person on that phone. Because yours is here and mine's gone. And I would give anything. Anything.
Here's what I want to do real quick, just as an experiment.
Yeah.
And I want you to trust me on this. It's going to sound weird. You're bringing so much emotion to it, and it's wonderful. But just for the sake of rehearsal, I want you to strip all that emotion out of it if you can.
Uh-huh.
And just get him to do what you need him to do, which is to phone her.
Phone her. I want you to phone her. Because there's a living person on that phone. Because yours is here. Mine's gone.
Great. How was that? How did that feel to you?
And I felt like a beginner. So that needs rehearsal, but it's a very good procedure.
So now I want you, now that you have to, you don't have to think at all about emotion. Now I want you to think completely about what you're trying to get him to do and why he should do it. And when you say last thing I say, I want you to think in your mind. I want you to look for that. What was the last thing I said? What did you?
You didn't think she'd
No.
it would be burned into her memory.
It's not. That's not the point. The point is, I want to find you finding it in your mind. What did you do today? Were you home all day?
Yes.
Were you? And did you have any conversations with people?
My husband was taking off for the Bennington Chamber Music Conference, where he goes every summer.
What's the last words that you said to him before he left?
All right, that's a terrific question. I said, do you have your glasses and your keys and your money?
Good. You see what you just did?
Yes.
That looking for it? That's what I want you to do here.
The last thing I said to him was, I need to pop to the toilet. I just need to pop to the toilet. But I didn't. I couldn't just sit there. I wanted a break, so I told a lie.
So what was the lie?
That she needed to pop to the toilet.
Now I'm going to need you to really invoke imagination. Take yourself back to that moment where you sat in that room with him. Close your eyes.
Yeah.
And see him with the mouth open and the saliva coming out, or the tubes, or the beeps. What is that? How does that make you feel?
Just, it takes my love away.
Imagine you're trapped and you can't get out.
Yeah.
Now confess. Confess to me. Why did you lie? Explain yourself to me so that I don't condemn you for lying to your husband. And the only way you're going to make me see it is if you go back there to that room and think about that image of him and the tubes and the beeps and the death. Death is crowding all around you. Death is overwhelming you, and you have to get out by whatever means necessary. And unfortunately here it means lying to your husband. The last thing you said to him was a lie.
The last thing I said to him was, I need to pop to the toilet. I just need to pop to the toilet. But I didn't. I needed a break. I couldn't just sit there. So I told a lie. He was my life. I got up in the morning because he did. I breathed because he did. And at the end of all that love was a lie. What a Twix.
Was the Twix worthy of the last?
No.
I want you to confess the Twix.
Okay.
I mean, the Twix, What? Twix, you wasted the last few breaths of your husband's life on a Twix. Twix.
I bought a Twix. I bought a Twix. I bought a Twix. That's what I did. Look at him. He's on the cake now.
So see the guy. There he is. Have that resentment. Have whatever it is, the judgment. Then let him have it. You know what? Resolved. You know what? And then find that. Let that be a new thought. I bet he cries, though. And find that compassion for him. And taste all three. I mean, those are like three bases. These two lines are like a home run. It's like a whole play. It's got a beginning, middle, and end. Just in those two lines.
Yeah.
And I want you to observe the beginning, which is the resentment. Observe the middle, which is the just, you know what, let him have it. And then the end is finding that compassion for him.
All right.
Tell that story, yeah.
Look at that. He's on the cake now. I think I'll make up a wheat bag for your Auntie Mary. She likes egg mayonnaise. Be a little treat for her.
How does that make you feel that you're going to do that for her?
Better, sweeter, more tranquil.
Take that in and let that affect you. Let that make you, let that tranquility. Doing for others makes you more tranquil and puts your soul to rest. Let that affect you.
You take the phone. I won't be using it now. I only needed it for emergencies.
I want you to just make that just so simple there, right? All you have to do is just realize for yourself that it's done. You won't need it anymore. That's all you have to do there.
Okay.
Really simple.
Okay.
What specifically about the linen would she have liked?
Crisp, ironed.
So I want you to make that linen real for you, and I want you to really appreciate the linen when you say that. And just be specific, like pick the specific thing about the linen that she would have liked and appreciate that for yourself when you say that.
It's a shame, though. She would have loved the linen. You keep the phone. I won't be using it now.
Great. I need you to realize more, though, when you say I won't be needing it now.
Okay.
Let that occur to you and let that land for you.
You keep the phone. I won't be using it now. I only needed it for emergencies.
Good. Yeah, give that to me one more time. The you keep the phone. I'm going to play with you for a second. Don't go on until I give you something.
Very good.
That you keep the phone right to me.
You keep the phone.
No, I couldn't do that. I can't do that.
Look, keep the phone.
No, I can't.
Yeah. Yes, you can. You can keep the phone.
You're going to need it.
I am not going to use it anymore. I only had it for emergencies. There's money on it, plenty. So don't you waste it.
Beautiful. That was it. So here's what we did, Constance. We really explored every part of this monologue. And now our task is to put it all together.
Yes.
Which is a tough task, and that's going to take rehearsal. Just like baseball, and you're going to get tagged out if you don't hit the base. So for my money, I need you to make sure you do a run where you go and look where the bases are so you can make sure you hit them every time. And then once you are very clear on where those bases are, then you can find them a lot quicker, and then you've got your performance in sort of real time. But if you try to, before you know where the bases are, if you try to run too fast, you're liable to miss them, and then they don't get touched at all.
Absolutely.
And we lose a lot.
When you say go through it slowly, do you mean the tempo of changing from base to base? Do you also mean the tempo of speaking?
No, I don't mean the tempo of speaking. I don't push myself to keep on any kind of a timing of the monologue. What I would do is I would try to taste it all. So like I would say, you know, phone her. Phone her. I want you to phone her. Because you can, because there's a living person on that phone, because yours is here and mine's gone. And I would give anything. You know, it's like what I'm doing is I'm making sure that the base takes priority over the keeping the monologue going. And if I'm not at the base yet, I just get there before I say anything more. Like there's no pressure on me to keep the speaking going. I don't care about the speaking. I care about what is it that I'm doing in that moment. And I don't speak until I'm doing that.
All right. Very good.
My wife gets on my case. You know, he says to me, would you cut the pauses, act on the line. And she's right. I need to do that, but I'm not ready yet to do that. I have to just make sure I've got the action, and then I can do it on the line once I'm confident that the action will be there for me. And a lot of this work you can kind of do on your own when you're doing homework, because a lot of directors won't put up with the time.
Yes, exactly.
So it's just a lot of homework that you have to do to get yourself ready for rehearsal, and then you can get in there and like just go, you know?
Yeah, very good.
I feel like you can make the monologue even simpler. You can take it and just strip it. I guess find the courage to do as little as possible with every section of it.
God almighty. Like, could you just say a sentence or two? And could you like feedback to me what's excessive? Yours is there and mine is gone.
Mine is gone. Gone. Just say it, gone.
Yours is there. Mine is gone.
That's it.
Yeah, all right.
Beautiful. That was 90% better. Just that.
What I am thinking about is getting that across that is at a proper volume.
Yeah, don't worry about that. That's later. Here's what it is. It's a muscle, right? So what you just did was you lifted like 20 pounds of weight, and doing it so that you can play and fill a theater is lifting 100 pounds of weight. But
yeah.
You can't expect, if you haven't lifted 20, you can't expect to lift 100. As you do this and as you get more comfortable in what you're doing, you'll get, the muscle will build and you will be able to fill that theater.
Your help is absolutely first class.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Thank you ever so much. Phone her. I want you to phone her because there's a living person on that phone, because yours is here and mine's gone. And I would give anything. But the last thing I said to him was, I need to pop to the toilet. I just need to pop to the toilet. But I didn't. I couldn't just sit. So I needed a break. So I told a lie. He was my life. I got up in the morning because he did. I breathed because he did. And after all that love was a lie. I bought a Twix. That's what I did. 50 cents. I bought a Twix at a machine. And he died. And I want to go back and change that. And I want to be better, nicer, and kinder, but I can't. So I'm going to clear the shed. Old cans of dried up Bermuda blue paint. 43 keys. And I'm going to play the mouth organ. It's mine now, you're not having it. And I'm going to bang the walls, because if I don't, I'll die. Look at him. He's on the cake now. Why not, I say. Good little postman, little blind postman, no shame in that. I bet, though, he cries behind those eyes. I would. I think I'll make up a wee bag for your Auntie Mary. She likes egg mayonnaise. Be a treat for her. Shame, though, she would have loved to see the linen. You keep the phone. I won't use it now. I only had it for emergencies. But it's got money on it plenty, so don't you waste it.
I think that the beginning of it needs to start with more urgency.
Yeah.
And the end of it end with more resignation. You need to make your son not make the same mistakes you made.
Yeah.
You need him to call her. You need him to deal with the living. So there's that urgency that we need to make him wake up. Call her, call her, call her. Just make it clear to him why it's so important. Everything is in service of making him understand why it's so important. The Twix, God, my husband was dying and I'm eating a Twix. You know, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so let the momentum of that beginning carry the rest of it.
Phone her.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you phone her.
No.
Yeah. Phone her. Phone her. Scene. Phone her. I want you to phone her because there's a living person on that phone because yours is here and mine's gone. And I would give anything. The last thing I said to him was, I need to pop to the toilet. I just need to pop to the toilet. But I didn't. I couldn't just sit. I needed a break, so I told a lie. I want to go back and change that. And I want to be better, nicer, and kinder. But I can't. So
good. I love it. I love it. I love it. Great. You're doing great work, Constance. This is really happening now. This is really.
Thank you. Do you find that in the loudness, you know, in the yelling part of it, that it's more genuine than it was last time?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Because
See,
you're backing it up.
Every time I exceeded a low volume, it sounded false to me. But I find that over the last few days, I think it's grown. Think I'm not forcing it. But
you're not. You're not because you're putting intention behind it. You're backing it up. And that's the key. And you can always tell when an actor has something behind them or has nothing and just has affect. You know, because just the naked affect comes off as phony.
I got a Twix. That's what I did. 50 cents. I got a Twix out of the machine. And he died.
Good. I'm getting defiance on the Twix. Yeah, what I want more is how could I have?
Yeah.
How could I have?
I bought a Twix. That's what I did. 50 cents. I bought a Twix out of the machine and he died. And I want to go back and change that. And I want to be better and nicer and kinder. But I can't. So I'm going to clear the shed. Old cans of dried up Bermuda blue paint, 43 keys.
Good. Good. Yeah. Now we're resolved. We're no longer with the priest. I want to go back and change it, but I can't. So what will I do? And now resolve. Here's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Here's what I'm going to do. And here that can be defiance. Here is how you're going to build yourself back up. Here's what I'm going to do. And so we change into a new movement. I'm
going to clear the shed. Old dried up cans of Bermuda blue paint and 43 keys. And I'm going to play the mouth organ. It's mine now. You're not having it. And I'm going to bang the walls because if I don't, I'll die.
Constance, that was exquisite.
Oh, thank you.
I want us to review the journey of this monologue because those are the bases you've got to hit. And above all else, you must do the things that we have outlined here. And those are the bases, because if you don't do those things, then the monologue goes away. Let's make a list or just put it on paper so that you can just in front of you. It's kind of like when we do this, it's kind of like you're It's like you're a musician and it's your song list. These are the songs we're going to do at the set today.
All right.
So the very beginning, the first thing
Yeah.
is phone her. The urgency to get him to phone her. Then we go to beating yourself up. And then we go to the priest and we confess. Then we go to the resolve of what you're going to do to build yourself back up. And we build up.
Yeah.
And then we go to the what you're going to do for Auntie and how good that makes you feel. And then we resign. Constance, when you look at this list, what should jump out at you is that they're each actions. They're each things you're going to do.
That's right.
Right? To urge, to beat yourself up, to confess, to resolve, to build up, to resign, to provide, to care for. These are all actions, and those are the building blocks of the performance. Action. So whenever we do a monologue or prepare anything, the thing we're looking for is, what am I doing? What can I do? And your only job is to do those things. There's nothing else you need to worry about.
I thought there was a lot to worry about.
There's nothing else to worry about. It's just those things. It's just those actions that you have to do. Everything else takes care of itself. Volume, emotion, and anything that happens, don't force it and don't get in the way. Just get out of the way. Anything that happens naturally, just let it happen. Your only job is to play actions.
Get out of the way. All right, I got that. I didn't know any of this before we worked together, and you work with such clarity.
Well, thank you.
It's a pleasure. Phone her. I want you to phone her because there's a living person on that phone, because she's here. Mine's gone, and I would give anything. The last thing I said to him was, I need to pop to the toilet. I just need to pop to the toilet. But I didn't. I couldn't just sit. I needed a break. So I told a lie. He was my life. I got up in the morning because he did. I breathed because he did. And at the end of all that love was a lie. I got a Twix. That's what I did. 50 cents. I got a Twix out of the machine. And he died. And I want to go back and change that. And I want to be better and nicer and kinder. But I can't, so I'm going to clear the shed. Old cans of dried up Bermuda blue paint and 43 keys. And I'm going to play the mouth organ. It's mine now, you're not having it. And I'm going to bang the walls, because if I don't, I'll die. Look at him. He's on the cake now. Oh, well, why not, I say. Good little postman, little blind postman. No shame in that. I bet, though, he cries behind those eyes. I would. I'm going to make up a wee bag for your Auntie Mary. She likes egg mayonnaise. Be a treat for her. It's a shame, though. She would have loved the linen. You keep the phone. Won't use it now. I only had it for emergencies, but it's got money on it. Plenty, so don't you waste it.